Hey guys, it's Miss Adams again. We're working through the 6B review for the test. So if you are looking to do the retest, this is what these videos are meant to kind of help you out, walk through this review. So we are on to problem 19. It says LeBron James shot a buzz beater 3-point shot to beat the Atlanta Hawks. His shot is represented by the function f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. Determine the maximum height the ball will reach in feet and the time it took in seconds to get to that height. Hint: change standard form to vertex form by completing the square. So we are trying to find our vertex, which is going to give us our maximum for this function. In order to do that, we have to use completing the square. So let's rewrite this down here so we can see it a little bit better. We have f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. First thing we have to do is isolate our variable terms and remove any numerical greatest common factor so that our x squared value is by itself. It doesn't have a coefficient in front. In order to do that, let's go ahead and remove the negative 2x or the negative 2 from our parenthetical variable terms here. That means I'm going to divide both of these terms by negative 2. Negative 2x squared divided by negative 2 is going to leave me with x squared. Then I'm going to have 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6x. And then remember, we're going to add this term that we don't know what it is yet. So that's our completed square. So I'm going to add my square here. But whatever I do inside my parentheses, I also have to do to the outside of the parentheses. So I'm going to add 10. But instead of adding on the outside, I'm going to subtract so that it makes an equivalent equation. And because we multiplied by negative 2 to our parentheses, I also had to multiply this unknown term by negative 2. In order to find our unknown, we're going to do b over 2 squared. So in this case, our b value is negative 6. I'm going to have negative 6 divided by 2 squared. That's going to give me negative 3 squared, which is 9. So 9 is our unknown term here. And let's simplify this equation just a little bit. So I'm going to have my function of x is equal to negative 2. And remember, we're trying to get to vertex form, which is y equals a multiplied by x minus h squared plus k. So I'm going to have negative 2. Then x, so our h value, how did we find this? That's your b over 2 is going to be your new h value. So in this case, we had negative 3 as our new h value, so minus 3 squared. And let's simplify this stuff here. So the 10, excuse me there. I can erase that. Anyways, we have this negative 10 minus negative 2 times 9. So negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. And so 10 minus negative 18 is the same thing as saying 10 plus 18. So our new k value here is going to be 28. So it says we're trying to find the vertex, correct? Because we're trying to find the maximum height of the ball in feet and the time it took in seconds to reach that height. Well, we have our vertex is going to be negative hk. So our vertex is 3, 28, which if I were to write that out, that means it's going to take 28 seconds for the ball to reach a max height of 3 feet. And that is your answer. Let's go on to problem 20. So 20 is where we're dealing with BDA. So if you remember, BDA is box, distribute, add. So let's look at these. We are going to box our squared terms we're then going to distribute whatever coefficient is outside of the parentheses, and then we're going to combine like terms or add our like terms at the end. So these are going to be your constants at the end. This gets us from vertex form to standard form. Let's look at example A. So example A says 2 multiplied by x minus 3 squared minus 15. This is already in vertex form, so let's find the vertex real quick. That's going to be our negative hk. So in this case, it's going to give us positive 3, negative 15 for the y value. Okay, so let's get into BDA. First thing we're going to do is box. I'm going to make my box here. I'm going to have x minus 3, because this is my squared term, multiplied by x minus 3. That's going to give me x squared. We've got negative 3x. When I multiply by x by negative 3, negative 3x again. Then negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. Now we combine the like terms that are diagonal from each other. So negative 3x plus negative 3x gives us a negative 6x. If we write this out, we've got 2 multiplied by x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 15. So step 1, our box, we're done with it. Let's distribute now. We're going to distribute the 2 to all the terms inside the parentheses. So I'm going to have 2x squared. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12x. And 2 times 9 is 18 minus 15. So that leads us to our last step, which is where we add, or in this case, we're going to do 18 minus 15. 18 minus 15, so we're combining those like terms. That's going to give us 3. So our standard form is 2x squared minus 12x plus 3. So with standard form, your y-intercept is your c value, so your constant at the end. So our y-intercept, our x's value is 0, and the y value is 3 for example A. All right, so that was easy enough. Let's go to example B. We're once again going to start with our vertex. If I'm looking here, our negative h value is going to be, instead of positive 4, we're going to have negative 4 for the x value of the vertex, and 9 for the y value of the vertex. Then we get into box. We'll make my box. We got x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 4. Because that's my squared term, and to multiply those values, I have to do the box method, or if you wanted to, you could double distribute, either way. So I've got x squared, 4x, because 4 times x is x, and we got x squared from x multiplied by x. Then we have 4x in the bottom left-hand corner, because 4 times x is 4x. And then 4 times 4 is 16 in the bottom right-hand corner. We combine terms diagonally, and we substitute this value in for our parenthetical values. So now I have negative 3 multiplied by x squared plus 8x plus 16 plus 9. Our box of BDA is completed. Now we distribute. We're going to distribute the negative 3 into our parentheses. Negative 3 multiplied by x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 multiplied by 8x is going to give us negative 24x. A negative 3 multiplied by 16 is going to give us negative 48. And we're going to add 9 at the end. Last step is to combine like terms, so we're going to add. So negative 48 plus 9, that's going to give us negative 3x squared minus 24x, then minus 39. And that is your standard form for this function, and the y-intercept is going to be at 0, negative 39. All right, guys.